like the
What this before
yes.
the beginning of that?
It's the beginning of this.
It's the beginning of this. Go back to when it shows the building.
MIT.
Yeah.
MIT.
Him playing. There you go.
Now MIT, that's Charles River. That is the pinnacle of what? Technology.
In the country.
And in science, in the world. Say. I mean, you don't get no topping than this.
The reason that he played the knowing tape was because it was that tape that was centered around Ezekiel's vision that made him come back and see what is wrong with the theory of randomness. Why isn't that the most correct way to explain the world and what happened in it? So when you start talking about Yahweh appearing to man, you're looking at intelligence, you're looking at precision coming to you. So that kind of, destroys the whole theory of randomness, where there is no intelligence behind things, they just happen coincidentally. And this is why we're going through call it theophany. This is what the theologians refer to Yahweh's appearance to man, or the Creator appearing to his creatures.
So it says introduction. So
today the level of ignorance is profound concerning the origin, nature, and existence of God. The continued debate about the presence of God is laughable in such a technologically advanced world. Questions are often asked, such as, where is God? Is God dead? Does God care about the world? Is this the end time? These queries reflect a complete misunderstanding of the Creator. The theophany of God, Elohim, is revealed daily to human souls and has been revealed to mankind throughout history, although few understand. Views of Elohim's theophany are formed by Hollywood and UFOs, so-called abductions, and the scientific perspective shaped by our secular materialistic education, which denies the existence of Elohim. The recent movie Knowing, starring Nicolas Cage, is about a series of events that were foretold 50 years in advance by a schoolgirl who placed her numerical predictions in a time capsule. Nicolas Cage plays a MIT professor whose mindset or belief in the randomness of creation is turned upside down when these events come to pass as foretold. The movie ends with heavenly beings appearing within the vision of Ezekiel and delivering his son and another little girl into the new heaven and earth. Knowing deals with two fundamental schools of thought, randomness and determination, or predetermination by God, with randomness being the prevailing thought taught in schools and universities. Now, randomness is defined as having no specific pattern, purpose, or objective. Random movements, meaning there is no belief in a creator who is the plan and has a purpose. So randomness believes that there is no ultimate cause of the universe and life. The universe and life were a great accident of atoms randomly coming together to form chemical elements, and through a series of mutations, life and man evolved. Nicolas Cage's character believes in the randomness and voices his view in this famous movie line. As one of his students asks Cage what he believes, he says, "I think shit just happens." By the end of the movie, his opinion has changed, and it's evident to him that Yahweh Elohim has predestined events. Now, determinism is defined as a theory or doctrine that says acts of will, occurrences in nature, or social or psychological phenomena are usually determined by pre-existing or preceding events or natural laws. There is no need for a deep philosophical discussion to prove whether randomness is a valid explanation of creation. Man's body must have a plan with its intricate and precise operations. Any doctor knows that randomness is not a factor in the operation of the various systems of the human body. If randomness did control our bodily functions, it would bring about swift death. The regulation of the various functions needed to sustain life in this body is not random. This is the regulation of blood pressure, insulin and glucose levels, the dilation of the pupils of the eye, the creation of various hormones as needed, respiratory and heart rates, the nervous impulses traveling up and down the spinal cord. The creation of the human body is not an accident, and it is statistically impossible for all the innumerable operations needed to sustain life to operate in perfect harmony without a plan and purpose. If you have a human body, you must have a creator or an architect. Now, the revelation of Elohim to his creatures proves his existence. The movie Knowing inspired me to investigate Ezekiel's vision of the creator Yahweh Elohim appearing to him, the symbolism therein, and compare these principles with those of other Israeli prophets to whom Yahweh appeared, and examine their prophecies concerning the end times of this system or era. Has it for your man?
Okay, it has to create a pure man. That's one of the topics here. Now, what's important here, we're going to describe what theophany, what the academics describe as theophany. What it is, nothing more than a vision.
The appearance of a deity to a human or a divine disclosure.
Okay, it's a divine disclosure. So, really, if you have a theophany or vision from Elohim, it disproves what? Randomness. We go on to show forth that the Elohim is spirit, and Joshua spoke to the disciples there, the woman, and they that worship him must worship in spirit and truth. So what we understand at this time, Yahweh is the source and substance of all things, both visible and invisible. And this is something that Christian does not understand the various manifestations when Elohim reveals himself to us. If you have no context for it, you wind up like the professor there with his mind being alone. Okay. So, now we have to understand that Israel was the first prophet that Yahweh told to write his purpose and plan down. This doesn't mean that Yahweh didn't reveal himself to previous what? People in other ages, but they were not told to write anything down because he had set an appointed time whereby he would create his own people and manifest his purpose and pattern through, and eventually come through that lineage to set up to die for the man's sins of the man's world, and also institute an era or an age whereby men worship him in spirit and truth and realize that God dwells, or Elohim dwells, right within their own temple or tabernacle. So what we're going to do is that what we have is the various prophets. Moses was the first prophet to write all this in a scriptural form according to the purpose. And then you had the other prophets to write. But Moses didn't, his writings were very sketchy, describing the spiritual embodiment. He wrote very little on this. Not that he didn't see it, because he described it.
Right.
It wasn't given to him at that time.
That's right.
And so the other prophets would add more detail as we go on. So we realize that, we're going to realize many things that the situations are very similar. Moses is having a very good, the children of Israel in captivity. Ezekiel is in captivity along with Babylon. And there are some Israelites still back at Jerusalem there after the temple had been destroyed. Before the temple was destroyed. But they were caught in idolatry. The same principle, the idolatry in Egypt, the idolatry of the children of Israel, false worship. Okay, we start off, so now we have, to begin, I want to start this, how should I do this? Okay, we're going to speed this up. Now, what I want you to understand is that in previous ages, I'll tell you, God or Elohim is manifested within man's tabernacle. And that was revealed until the day of Pentecost. So, what the word Israel means having power with them. So these people were set apart to demonstrate a purpose. Not that the Israelites were anything special, because really it comes down to the true Israelite is spiritual. It's not flesh and blood or any bloodline, as the Illuminati and these other people are trying to associate. It's associated with the power of Elohim having the same heart and same mindset of being able to worship in spirit and what? True. And true, as Paul said, what made everybody the temple or tabernacle. And these things were examples to lead us up to the Spirit. In other words, you need some natural things to begin to understand the spiritual principles that are existing, that Yahweh is, and also in the spiritual creation. Okay. Points of discussion will be very simple. We're going to deal with Ezekiel theophany, his visions, as Yahweh appeared to him, and compared with the other prophets of Israel. We're going to show the existence of the pattern with the circumstances of the theophany, which I've already outlined here. We're going to explain the symbolism of Ezekiel, when and why the theophany occurred, when it did. Find the relevance of our current era of the fall of Mystery Babylon. We want to identify the true believers, what the true believers should be expecting with the collapse of Mystery Babylon, and what they should be, be looking for. And we're going to reveal that theophany proves that there is a creator.